Does money buy happiness? Let's get this straight.
I know some businessmen that have £500 million companies, and I know for a fact if they make an extra 500 grand, it's not going to change their life.
Because they have enough, they know what to do. I think they're more sorted.
So I don't think it becomes worthless. I think the worth of money just changes.
I think it is. I think if you've got a lot of money, you probably are successful. You must have done something well.
See, we're on Instagram all day and we see like the flashy lifestyle. We want that.
But I've been looking a lot about these celebrities recently, right? They all got loads of money, but they all have scandals and allegations, and I'm like, okay, so the money couldn't buy you happiness, you know?
Does money buy happiness? Let's get this straight. Money equals happiness. It's wrong. We've seen that celebrities with private jets and mansion closets still crash emotionally. Some of the wealthiest people are also the most publicly miserable. So if money directly bought happiness, like a transaction, we still see more billionaires smiling than suffering.
But I've been looking a lot about these celebrities recently, right? They all got loads of money, but they all have scandals and allegations, and I'm like, okay, so the money couldn't buy you happiness, you know? Because I'll think to myself, what would have I done with your money? You know what I mean? But also I think to myself, like, it's not easy to judge, you know what I mean? You can have lots of money and you could still be tempted to do bad things because you have a lot of money, you know what I mean? Money is good and evil, but it hasn't got a fixed position. It's not bad or good. It depends on who's holding it, right?
Yeah. What's your name, Marcus?
Cheng.
Cheng, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So I think happiness for me is building meaningful connections and relationships with the people that I love, also forming new ones. And I think that, like, with money you can always make people's life better.
Yeah.
So you can make your family, you know, you can provide for them, and also maybe if you're hungry you can get like a good meal, and you know, I think happiness doesn't have to be complicated. Like, it just has to be something simple.
Now, is it something that you think that money, when we're growing up, we probably think of it as something a lot more than what we realize it to be? In a sense that, for example,
I know some businessmen that have £500 million companies, and I know for a fact if they make an extra 500 grand, it's not going to change their life. Or if they buy another Lamborghini, it's not going to make a difference to their happiness.
Don't get me wrong, being obsessed with money, it makes sense. It's hard not to be. We live in a world where money touches almost everything. Freedom, security, experiences in life. You might say though that there are more important things than money. And sure, maybe, but how sure are you of that? You're probably watching this video on what, an iPhone? A laptop that costs more than some people earn in months? Meanwhile, over 2.5 billion people still don't even have access to the internet. Something that we've taken for granted for almost over 2 decades now. So yes, of course money opens doors, and to pretend it doesn't, it's just being dishonest. I mean, you're just kind of lying to yourself. But there is a catch to it. What can money not buy, right? And those aspects or things in life that money can't buy are usually the ones that we associate with the most importance, because it suggests that no matter how hard you're willing to work and sacrifice for money, that hard work and sacrifice will never match the hard work and sacrifice willing to gain things like true love, for example.
There is no comparison, because that one is all materialistic and the other one is about feelings and emotions and connections with people. Definitely there's no comparison in that. But again, in terms, you want to travel, so some people want to experience the life beyond just connections. I'm not saying that is not important. Both the things are equally important, and I would say they both have very different things, so we can't even compare. Like human connection and money, we cannot compare. If you say money buys happiness, it does with material things.
Yeah, go for it.
Does money buy happiness?
You got a bug there, bro.
Got a bug?
Yeah, it's a bug.
Safe, bro.
Yeah, grasshopper or something.
I appreciate that, because a lot of people, oh whoa, fucking hell. My cameraman been filming for the last hour. That fucking bugging me. But a lot of people wouldn't tell you that. I feel like if people got stuff in their nose, I'm always trying to feel like you got something in your nose, bro.
No, people in their toes. Yeah, and do you think like people have to sometimes take away the value from stuff like watches, cars, and sort of take a step back and realise where the true value of life is, in the sense of, like you said, family?
I think everybody knows it, but we get sidetracked. Everybody knows value is the valuable things in life are like family. and friends and stuff like that. But we get sidetracked. We're on Instagram all day and we see like the flashy lifestyle and we want that. You know, regardless if we got like, you know, family, friends, if we got our health, you know.
We start to prioritize other things.
Yeah, we kind of get distracted and we kind of get swayed across, from like what is truly valuable.
It's not the watches or the cars that keep us scrolling, it's the freedom, or at least the illusion of it. When you scroll past someone like Andrew Tate or Imad Ghazi, you're not just seeing wealth, you're seeing the absence of control, which hits deeper than the stacks of paper ever could. Because even if we're not locked up, a lot of people, especially young people, we feel boxed in by routine, the debt of doing things that we don't want to do, or that sort of burden on our shoulders. And the truth is, money sometimes feels like, or is the only way out of that. Not for luxury, but for choice.
Money does buy happiness because it allows you to buy the clothes that I sell on my website, bro. And looking fresh will then make you happy, and that will attract positivity, you know.
Do you think clothes is something that can make anyone be happy because like what you wear is like your type of sort of way of showing?
I feel like if you're looking good, you're feeling good. I think that inadvertently makes you happy. I feel like on a level, I feel like money allows freedom. Money buys you freedom, which then allows happiness, you know? I think if you've not got money, you're stressed. In the UK anyway, in other countries, I think in other countries it's different. I feel like here you need money to survive and to be able to do stuff and to enjoy your, I don't know, money buys freedom, you know?
I'll be real honest with you, I'm a conspiracy theorist myself.
We have to ask this, yeah?
We have to, right? As long as the theory is still out there, we need to consider it, right? And I believe actually, like, for example, one thing I was debating with someone not too long ago of somebody that I know moved to the UK here to London, and they're like, oh, I'm really depressed. It's really hard for me to meet people and stuff. And I had to remind them that London is a business, and it's a city of business. So it's not just a place where you come to live, but it's a business. It's actually known as the Corporation of London. In the whole world, there's 3 Vaticans: London, Vatican, and Washington, DC. Right? So when you come here, it's probably best to have a business mind.
Yeah, to be driven by some sort of goal.
Exactly, right?
There's an end to it.
Yeah, and I feel like if a lot of people don't have that mindset while living in the UK or one of these Vaticans, you can easily fall into a trap.
And that brings me to the rat race. I don't hate the metaphor. I mean, I guess some people find it cringe, but it definitely has some underlying value in it. Rats run. Some are faster and some are smarter. Some chase cheese and some chase the exit. But what bothers me is the assumption that all rats want the same thing. That if you're not chasing the same dream, you're behind everyone else. That money is sort of that only measure of progress. That success is the one definition, has one rigid definition. We're not machines. We're not even the same kind of rat, right? There's different types of rats. I mean, I don't want to talk about rats too much, but there are different types of rats. And some people want time with their family and others less so, and that's okay. I mean, we're all different people and we all desire different things at the end of our lives. But the one person or the one thing that doesn't care is the system. It tells us to run harder, earn more, buy bigger. And that's why the rat race isn't just exhausting, it's depressing, because it makes you forget why you started running in the first place.
Like, there's this experiment that was done. They got some rats, they gave them cocaine water and left them alone in a cage for about a week or so, something like that. When they came back, they saw that all the rats were addicted to the cocaine water. Some of the rats even did cannibalism and stuff like that. And then one doctor was like, okay, let's give them some toys, introduce some toys, give them a variety of stuff to do, leave some fresh water and cocaine water. They came back after a week, barely any of the rats had touched the cocaine water. And he went to prove that as long as there's other activities because I believe in this society, we're those rats, the rat race, right? There's a lot of people in this area, just in London alone, that consume a lot of drugs, and it's to replace the things the activities, the other things that they can't do, you know what I mean?
Do you think, like you said, a lot of people do drugs, do you think it's a sort of way to avoid the fears that they have to confront in life, their anxiety, their past failures with scared?
Yeah, I actually think it's everything involved. A lot of people take different drugs to deal with different problems. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go consume myself, and that's because I want to de-stress from home after a long day of work. I don't really have any other form of activity that will help me de-stress. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think we can, as people, attach emotional value to money a bit too much sometimes when we start to become obsessed?
For sure. I think even me personally, I've lost friendships over money, you know, over like people owing money and stuff like that, you know? And it's like, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I guess it's never worth it losing, I guess, personal relationships over something that's just materialistic.
I think people put a lot of weight on money, which is a shame, but I guess, like, again, you need money to live, you need money to survive in the UK anyway. Yeah, man. Safe, bro.
So, does money buy happiness? Maybe the better question is, what does happiness even look like to you? I didn't even define happiness to you because I can't define what happiness is to you. So for some it's security and freedom, right? I mean, money gives you the key to the door, but it doesn't tell you which door to open. And in life, there's hundreds of thousands of doors that we're choosing to close and open every single day. And if you're running this race for a finished line that isn't yours, you'll never know what winning or crossing the line truly should feel like. Because the truth is, money can buy a lifestyle, but it can never build a life.